Thank you for joining me. My name is Cheryl Matson of Quilt-N-A-Flash, and today I am going to teach you how to make 10 face masks in a flash. This is part 1 of a 2-part video. Part 2 actually goes into assembling the masks. This part 1, I've learned so many things about masks, and I'm going to share with you about fabrics, various ties versus elastic, and you will not need to take notes in either video because I have 2 PDF files. These PDF files are located directly below the video on my website. They show you the fabric cutting instructions, a supply list. This is the one that helps you to assemble the masks. This describes the different sizes. And there's a bonus one on there. This is about the importance of the filters that you put in the masks. Some people, unfortunately, have put some very dangerous products in the masks, and they're harmful to people. So be sure you read this and share with as many people as you know who make masks. So if you have already sewn masks and you know this information, click me off, go to part 2, and we'll make some masks in a flash. If not, let's talk about the fabrics. The fabrics, it is recommended that you use 100% tightly woven cotton. You can find these fabrics at your quilt store. In this pandemic, they would really appreciate your purchases as well. As a small business person, I know that. You can also use, if your husband or some of your kids have some cotton t-shirts that they'll turn loose of, those fabrics add an extra filtering property, as well as some old pillowcases. Maybe you want to get some new ones for redecorating. Those old pillowcases work too, and those 2 fabrics just add that little bit of extra. So let's go into the ties and the different ways to make the ties. The first way is you'll cut the fabric strips, and again this is on the PDF, and you're going to make a double fold. It's like a double fold bias tape, but it's not on the bias. This is a double fold bias tape, and you can see it's in the center and both of the ends are folded in. What we're making is the same concept. So because this is a 2-inch strip, we're going to get a bias tape maker, and you'll feed this right through there, and you can see, because I have starched my fabric after I pre-washed it. It's very important to always pre-wash all the fabrics beforehand. And so I starch it, makes it nice and stiff. With this bias strip maker, you'll run that through, and you'll just take your iron over there, and it makes these beautiful creases there. Once you get it all done like that, then you'll fold it in half and crease it again with this off there, of course. If you don't have a bias tape maker, you do it a little differently. You're going to fold the fabric in half, lengthwise on itself. You'll press it in half. Then, it's really stiff, it's jumping around on me. Then you'll fold your little ends in almost to that center, fold them in, fold it over, and press it. So you'll have a piece that is assembled nearly the same as this. And if I didn't mention before, this is a 1/2-inch strip of double fold bias tape. Now on the ends of these, of course it doesn't look like a tie yet, but it will. On the ends of these, once you've got them all pressed, you're going to take this end and you're going to fold it up. And you want to fold it up no less than a 1/2 inch. You'll fold this end back over itself and this end over here. Fold it back in half like this, and you'll have this open edge. So you're going to now stitch this open edge closed with your machine. Now for your masks, no matter the ties or whatever you're doing, you're going to want to have the proper needle size. 116 is probably the best needle size. the 90-14 at minimum. These needles are for heavy-duty fabrics like jeans or heavy corduroys, and you're going to be going through a lot of layers in these masks, and these needles are going to help you get this job done. So once you fold this in half, you're going to start from the end that's not folded in and go along here. When you're done, you're going to have a nice little sealed edge that looks like this. You've got it all stitched along there and it's all clean. On the bias tape, you're going to do the same thing. You'll fold this in the same way we did before. Fold it up, fold it over again, fold it in half, and start on this end and close up that opening there with a seam. So again, this is 1/2 inch bias tape. You will need 4 ties per mask. For adults, these are 18 inches long. For children, 15. Now this is the hardest way. This is a little bit easier. And now I'm going to show you an even easier way to make these ties. These ties are made of twill tape. Twill tape is a cotton polyester fabric, and it almost feels like a ribbon, and it's very strong. The problem it has is it frays, and it's also very fine. And I don't know if you can see here that this is fraying on this end. There's 2 ways to fix this. What I would do if I was doing them all with the fray check is I would cut all my ties the length I want. So there might be, 20 ties lined up on here. And so I'll get this little fray check and I'll put these on a piece of wax paper. So the lid comes off. It's a very fine point that you're using, and you'll just put a little bit on the end of each tie. Let it dry. And by the time you get ready for these ties, they should all be dry for you to sew them in. And guess what? There's an even easier way with the twill tape. If you want to take this tape and instead of cutting it 18 inches long, you're going to add an inch. So these would be 19 inches long. And you're just going to tie a little slip knot in the end. That's easy, and those will work just fine. They won't fray, they won't come apart, and they'll be just great for the mask. So again, 4 ties per mask. The other thing that people use are elastic around the ears. This is a rope elastic, and you can get it from Amazon. It's a 1/4 inch rope elastic. It's very soft, very pliable, so it'll be comfortable around the ear. For each mask, you'll need 2 of these at 7 inches long. So there's the elastic. Now on the ties, medical people prefer the ties, and your family and friends are going to prefer the elastic. And I don't know if I told you that already, but it's okay. A reminder. And so if with that said, we're ready to go into making the mask. Download these files from the website, and that would be www.Quilt-N-A-Flash.com. And if you go /videos/, you'll go right to the videos, and these download PDFs are directly under that video. So thank you for watching part 1. I hope I shared some valuable information with you. Let's go on to part 2 and make some masks.